60, 100, 130, 220. You're joking, right?
Nope, that's it right there.
356.65. Good job, partner.
$500,000 week.
Oh my God, this is a dream, says Parker Schnabel. You will not believe what Parker and his coworkers discovered this time.
What the hell?
Oh.
He has made a find that is so incredible that is enough to shake viewers to their core.
I'll grab a blanket if you want to chuck it on the hood.
Look at that.
Oh, dropped it.
That is monstrous. Holy.
Pretty impressive, hey?
Could you imagine finding that?
Wow.
Stay tuned as we unravel the riddle and reveal the truth behind this incredible find. The crew planned a technique to find gold by shattering rocks.
So it's in there.
It's in there.
They spent 3 hours doing this and only discovered a small amount of gold, which was not worth much. Parker and his crew then used an innovative method called dry blowing to detect gold. They tested 42 yards of dirt over a 3-mile distance, thinking it would pay off. They utilized dry blowers to extract gold from the dirt. Dry blowing was new to the team, and they knew little about it. Unfortunately, they discovered the machines to be inefficient and ineffective at collecting gold. Even though they put in a lot of effort and invested $6,000, they didn't get the results they hoped for. It was a disappointing outcome for the team. They learned that sometimes new methods don't always work as expected.
I think we found it, guys.
We found it, haven't we?
Parker and his team are in Australia, trying to find gold. Usually, they can get almost all of it, like 99%, using special machines. But this time, with the dry blowers they're using, they're only getting about 60% or 70%. Now, Tyler and Fred are using a different method. They're washing the stuff with a gold cube. Parker's not ready to give up yet. He's doing one more test to check if the land they're on is good for gold. He's got a bunch of rough rocks, and he's spreading them out to see what's inside. The dry blower they're using in Australia isn't as efficient as Parker's devices in the Yukon. However, in Australia, they always search the residual fragments of rock for large amounts of gold. So Parker is expecting that the last test will yield positive results on the discovery of gold here. Parker and his colleagues are on a mission to discover gold in Australia. They're utilizing a trommel machine to break down large boulders into tiny pieces of about ½ an inch or less. However, the rocks entering are much larger. So if they locate any gold nuggets, they will be large, measuring more than ½ an inch. They're trying out new equipment and methods in Australia compared to what they use back in the Yukon. The machines they're using here, called dry blowers, aren't as good at finding gold efficiently. But Parker and his team are working hard to find those nuggets anyway.
Is that gold?
Yeah. Guys, we got the gold.
Is that it?
If they succeed, it could mean a huge win for them in Australia. In the Yukon, they discovered a large nugget, possibly more than ½ an ounce, which is unusual. It's worth around $2,000. Parker, the guy who discovered it, needs at least 10 ounces of gold to make up for his investment. So far, they have only collected 2.4 ounces, which is worth $3,600. But here's the thing, the ground they're working on right now is far richer than Parker's regular mining territory.
So it's in there.
Even if they haven't repaid the money they spent seeking for gold, there is a tremendous possibility here. They could discover a lot more gold and earn a lot more money than usual. So, even if they haven't met their goal yet, things are looking promising. Parker Schnabel is taking a vacation from his Klondike crew to examine new mining areas in Alaska. Parker seeks to get a new claim to protect the future of his mining business, while competition for property heats up in Klondike. He's on his way to meet John Reeves, one of Alaska's most renowned landowners, known for his aggressive dealing style. Last season, Parker signed a contract with John to mine 3,000 acres of his land. But the transaction fell through owing to the pandemic's border closure. Parker now needs to persuade John to give him another chance, and a simple handshake might not be enough. John values money and results, so Parker needs to come prepared with a solid plan and a convincing argument for why they should work together again. Parker knows that landing a new claim with John's support could be a game changer for his mining operation. So he's determined to make a strong impression and negotiate effectively. With so much at stake, Parker is ready to do whatever it takes to secure his mining future in Alaska. Parker can hardly contain his delight at meeting John and Drew. Drew is John's son-in-law and a great help to him, and Parker knows John owns a tremendous amount of land, about 20,000 acres. This region is extremely significant since it has a history of storing valuable items such as gold. Last year, they did some drilling on the land and discovered some fascinating findings. Parker's eyes light up as he mentions it because he's eager to finish exploring and demonstrating that gold is hidden there.
Make it over here and get set up. You know, like you said, it's August now, and that's why I'm here, is just to sit down.
He hopes they can figure out exactly where to dig so they can start preparing to mine it in the spring. He hopes they can determine where to dig and prepare to mine it in the spring. Parker currently holds a gold deposit worth $180,000. That's a lot of money. But he is confident that there is even more money hidden in John's land. So he's incredibly excited to get everything in order and start mining. This could be a great opportunity for him, and he isn't about to pass it up. It was a hectic day at Indian River, particularly for Parker and his team. They had a major job ahead of them, moving not one, but 2 wash plants in a single shift. That meant they needed to move swiftly and get things in order. Right now, things were a little wild. The staff was coping with some very difficult duties. Big Red, one of their key machines, needs to be relocated. And then there was Lucifer, another critical component of their business. It wasn't easy or pleasurable to move these heavy devices. Parker's crew was short of workers, which made things even more difficult. They were missing certain individuals who could aid out. But despite all the challenges, they were pushing through, hoping to get everything done on time. It was tough, but they were determined to make it work. The team was putting in their best effort to coordinate the moves. They were communicating constantly, making sure everyone knew their role and what needed to be done. Even though it was tough, there was a sense of determination among them. Parker, the crew's leader, was closely monitoring the development. He understood the importance of moving both wash plants efficiently. Every minute counted, and there was no space for error. As they toiled tirelessly, they could see the finish line becoming closer. It was reassuring to know they were making progress, even if it was slow at times. Tyson, the rookie plant boss in the Promised Land, faces a daunting task. He needs to lift Lucifer, a massive 45-ton plant, with Parker's largest excavator, the 750. They've connected all of the connections and are ready to move Lucifer to its new location. Meanwhile, Parker's trusted co-foreman, Brennan, is facing his own challenge. He has to move Big Red, a massive piece of equipment, 140 yards with a smaller excavator, the 480. It's a tough task, but Brennan knows what he's doing. Tyson and his team are working hard to haul Lucifer 120 yards to its new location. They're using all the power of the 750 to drag the heavy plant along its new path. It's slow going, but they're making progress. While Tyson steers Lucifer, Brennan cautiously navigates Big Red. He needs to be accurate when moving such a massive machine with a smaller digger, but he's determined to get the job done correctly. At the Promised Land rookie facility, boss Tyson Lee is working hard to move Lucifer to a safer location. It's difficult, but he won't give up. He seeks assistance from his crewmates to ensure that he is performing his duties correctly. Finally, after much struggle, he is able to bring Lucifer to a better place. Meanwhile, Brennan is already ahead. He's gotten Big Red onto its pad, which is excellent development. After spending half a day dragging the plant onto the pad, Brennan faces another challenge. He needs to spend 2 more hours turning it around. It's a lot of work, but Brennan is determined to get it done. Now the pressure is on. They need to get everything up and running before Big Red comes. They have the feeder, super stacker, water pumps, and pipelines ready to go. They just need to turn everything on and get started. Despite the obstacles and short timeline, the crew is working together to make it happen. To achieve their aim, they understand the need of working fast and efficiently. With everyone pitching in and giving it their all, they're hoping to be up and running in no time. Parker Schnabel, a 29-year-old gold miner, is working hard to save enough money to buy more land and expand his mining operation. His main goal this year is to accumulate enough money to invest in new mining and exploration locations. To compensate for starting late in the season and to benefit on high gold prices, Parker opted to split his operation and run 2 wash plants. However, there have been obstacles. Because of the pandemic, borders have been blocked, making it difficult to transfer skilled miners to the Klondike, where Parker operates. As a result, he has had difficulty finding a reliable staff. It's a major problem, and he doesn't have a solution just yet. Despite these difficulties, Parker is determined to keep pushing forward. He knows that having a strong team of experienced miners is crucial for success in the gold mining business. So he's working hard to overcome these challenges and build his business, even in uncertain times. Parker's team is split between 2 locations.
I know, man. It's brutal here. Trying my best.
You always tell me how good you are. You at least ought to be able to do the work of 2 people.
The Promised Land and the Last Cut. At the Promised Land, they are assisting Tyson Lee with Slucifer. Meanwhile, at the Last Cut, Parker's top miners, Koforan, Mitch Blaschke, and Brennan Rule, work tirelessly to keep Big Red running properly. Brennan is using a dozer to rip up the earth, while Mitch is excavating and gathering gold-rich pay dirt to keep the wash plant functional. Trey is responsible for hauling dirt from Mitch's mound to Big Red. It's a hefty job because Hefty Red need 180 yards of soil per hour to continue working. However, they're facing a problem.
You know, it's frustrating right now. You know, this is the prime of the season. This is when you should be sluicing, having these plants run 24 hours a day.
They don't have enough people to dig up all the dirt they need. This means they're struggling to keep the wash plant fed. If they can't feed it enough dirt, they'll have to shut it down. It's frustrating because this is the busiest time of the mining season. They should be running the plants non-stop, but instead they're facing shutdowns. They're doing their best, but with a shortage of workers, they're lagging behind. Parker needs to find a solution quickly in order to keep things operating smoothly. Perhaps he can bring in more workers or devise a new strategy to increase productivity. Whatever he decides, they must move rapidly to prevent wasting precious time and resources. Parker Schnabel is going all out this season. He's employed 2 additional miners to help his enterprise grow. However, it is difficult to recruit good miners this time of year because the majority of them are already working elsewhere. Parker is optimistic about his new workers, despite the fact that he has no idea where they will wind up working. One of the new miners is Tatiana Costa. She's from Portugal and this is her first time mining. She's been asked to drive a loader, which is a big machine used in mining. But here's the thing, she's never worked with a wash plant before. That's one of the big machines used to wash dirt and rocks to find gold. Everything about mining is brand new to Tatiana, so she's spending every single day learning how to use these big machines. It's not simple for Tatiana, however. Learning how to run these equipment is similar to climbing a very large mountain, but she isn't giving up. Tatiana is extremely motivated to improve and contribute to the squad. She works extremely hard, putting in long hours and asking a lot of questions.
This is my first season mining. This is all very new for me, so learning the machines, learning how to operate them.
Parker is quite impressed by her dedication and pleasant attitude. Parker has lofty goals for this season. He's hopeful that with Tatiana's hard work and the team's combined efforts, they'll hit it big. He hopes that this season will be remembered as one of the best ever. And, with Tatiana on board, who knows, they might just make it happen. At Scribner Creek, Parker's crew gathers around to check out how much gold the new crew members helped bring in. They're all excited to see the results. So far this season, one of their top performers, Big Red, has averaged 200 ounces of gold per week. This week, they collected an impressive 356.50 ounces. It's like hitting the jackpot. The squad is thrilled about their accomplishments. Next, they'll see what they acquired from Slucifer. It turned out that they collected 272.50 ounces from there. So far this week, they've received 629.50 ounces of gold. And when they sum it all up, their season total is 233 ounces. Overall, Parker's group has had a really great week. They're all proud that their hard work is paying off. Gathering this much gold not only means a lot of money, but also shows how well they're working together as a team. Parker needs the plant moved before the night shift, which starts in 6 hours. One of the bridges became trapped when relocating Slucifer to its new location, forcing the wash plant to tilt. Shane advises relocating Slucifer down the ramp and employing an excavator to level and stabilize the land beneath. They will then drag the wash plant back to its original position. They intend to transfer it slightly across the hill and then repair the land beneath. Moving the plant is urgent since it must be ready for night shift workers. Parker, Shane, and their staff are working against the time to get everything set up correctly. Despite the setback caused by the uneven ground, they are working on a solution to get things back on track. The team's plan involves using heavy machinery like an excavator to fix the ground and make sure the wash plant is stable. Parker tasked Shane and Ty with transporting the wash plant, Slucifer, to a new location before the night shift begins in 3 hours. They completed the assignment on time, despite the tight deadline. Thankfully, Shane and Ty are fine, and the plant is still in wonderful condition. Shane smoothed the earth on the new pad to accommodate the plant. However, the plant ended up slightly tilted to one side. Shane intends to fix this by placing some material beneath to prop it up, then readjusting it to assure stability. Moving a huge piece of equipment, such as the wash plant, necessitates careful preparation and teamwork. Shane and Ty must have worked efficiently to meet the tight deadline while ensuring everything is done safely. With the plant now in its new spot, they can breathe a sigh of relief and get ready for the night shift ahead. Shane and Ty were on the shaker deck level, bringing in the final parts. Just before Parker returned to check on things, they were able to move Slucifer, which took the entire day shift. Moving it was a large undertaking, but Shaner knew what he was doing, so Parker didn't have to be concerned about anything going wrong. It was just a lot to move, but the next one should be easier. Everything is now operating smoothly. They moved the factory, but getting it up and operating took longer than anticipated. But Shaner handled it admirably, and everything is now back on track. The team worked hard all day to get everything sorted. Shane and Ty were in charge of bringing in the rest of the pieces, while Parker checked on the progress intermittently. Moving Slucifer was a major task that took up the entire day shift, but they managed to get it done. Now, with everything in place and running smoothly, the team can breathe a sigh of relief and focus on the next steps of the project. Parker is testing a new plan for his mining company, Fast and Furious Plant Moves, at the conclusion of a particularly difficult week. Let's see if it works. First and foremost, Big Red, the main machine, has been operating non-stop with no stops. It has been processing dirt at a rate of 220 yards per hour. This week, it earned a staggering $625,000, the highest it has ever earned in a single week. But there were also difficulties with another machine, Slucifer. It was stopped for a whole day due to a blockage in the conveyor belt. Despite the delay, it managed to harvest 337 ounces of gold, which is worth approximately $590,000. So, adding up all the crew mine this week yields 694 ounces of gold. This takes their total for the season to 1,674 ounces. And with gold prices rising, all of this gold is worth more than $1.2 million. That is the most money Parker has ever made in 1 week. Parker must be satisfied with the outcomes. Despite several problems, his new technique appears to be yielding significant results. With these stats, it appears like he and his crew will have a very prosperous season. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more epic moments from the gold rush, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for all the latest updates. Alright then, thanks for watching.